Mr. Keycapper?
Here, but I can barely hear you.
Hey, sorry, Ben. Good morning.
Good morning.
Linda, can you hear us?
I can. Little, faded, as Ben said, but good enough.
I'll work on that. Good
Oh,
morning.
you're fine.
Ms.
Here.
And Ms. Williamson? Here. Madam Chair, we have a quorum. Thank you. Just a quick reminder to our remote committee members, please don't use the chat box to have sidebar conversations. The first item on our agenda is our public comment period for any items listed on the agenda. If you'd like to address the legal committee, please either click the raise hand button in Zoom or dial *9 on your phone. Are there any members of the public wishing to comment in person today? Not seeing any. Okay. Are there any comments on any people online wishing to make public comment?
Yes.
Go ahead, Ellie.
Good morning, Ellie Waller, Douglas County resident. First, I'd like to object to the current public comment procedures in place and hope that there is a change in 2026 where the public is allowed to provide testimony after hearing staff or applicants' presentations. Often there's new information. Providing testimony after the fact is nonsensical. Yes, sending in written comments is a means to capture issues, but new information does happen. Next, as you know, many were disappointed in the lackluster settlement agreement with the Tahoe Douglas Visitors Authority for not meeting required mitigations. A year ago, TRPA Legal Committee not only rewarded the Tahoe Douglas Visitors Authority with additional opportunities, increase in annual attendance, peak summer allowances, removal of transportation headways for failures to comply with the previously accepted mitigations, but also gave a generous gift of 3 years to complete what could be called a new mitigation. The reason you're here today is the applicant's attorney pleaded in feasibility for the previous mitigations. I propose you discuss today what could be substitute projects so the public understands there are actual meaningful ramifications for violations, not rewards for poor performance of conditions of permitting. This action a year ago set a dangerous precedent for future projects and even this one by not having hardship assessments. Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no other hands raised to comment. Thank you. Let's go ahead and close public comment period now then. The next item on our agenda is approval of the agenda. Graham, are there any changes?
No changes.
Thank you. I will deem the agenda approved as posted. Let's move on to agenda item 3, which is approval of minutes. These are draft 7 minutes from November 19 on page 9. Anyone have any changes?
Memorably short. Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes from the Legal Committee of November 19th, 2025.
I just needed Belinda and Ben.
Aye,
Sorry.
we didn't hear it.
Yeah, sorry, you froze. Aye.
Sorry, guys. Thank you. Thanks for the patience this morning. Let's move on to agenda item 4, which is the Tahoe Douglas Visitors Authority update on Highway 50 sidewalk and crossing improvements. Information on this item can be found at page 347, and I'm turning it over to Dan, please.
I'll turn it over to Lou.
All right.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and committee members, Lou Feldman.
Do you want to come a little closer to the L?
I always like sitting next to you, Shel.
It's mutual.
Lou Feldman on behalf of the Tahoe Douglas Visitors Authority. Also present is Carol Chaplin, the president and CEO of Tahoe Douglas Visitors Authority. First, I guess I'd like to thank Dan Segan for his diligence in working collaboratively with us on a variety of topics, some of which I might comment on at the conclusion of my remarks. But with respect to the sidewalk progress, and it's just to orient you, we're talking about the sidewalk between Lake Parkway and Kingsbury Grade on the mountainside of Highway 50. TDVA has been working closely with the Lieutenant Governor's office. The Lieutenant Governor sits on the NDOT board, and Jim Marino with the Tahoe Douglas Transportation District to advance the sidewalk project, not only as described earlier in my comment, but also the broader state line to state line multi-use trail between Kale Drive and the California state line. I'm pleased to report that Lieutenant Governor wanted me to share that he is very supportive of this project, and in particular that he is concerned about public safety and that the condition that exists on the mountainside of Highway 50 in his judgment is not safe, and he will continue to facilitate the project. NDOT has awarded a planning grant in the approximate amount of $750,000 to facilitate the design of this project. And an RFP has been prepared, and we expect that the RFP will be awarded in the first quarter of 2026, with completion of the design sometime later in 2026. The estimate for the total project is about $7 million, $1 million of which is attributable to the mountainside segment of the project. We are going to continue to work with our partners, hopefully to secure the funding for both segments. But if the funding is scarce, we will concentrate our efforts on the approximately $1 million required. And if we have to phase the project, with phase one being the mountainside of US Highway 50, we'll investigate that opportunity. TRPA, of course, supports the entirety of the project, and in a perfect world, which I aspire to advocate for, we won't have to phase the project, and construction could be as early as 2027 for both sides of US Highway 50. I also wanted to just share with you that TDVA has continued to actively support funding for transit. And if you include the Douglas County commitment that TDVA secured along with the ticket surcharge, as well as the $100,000 that the TDVA Board of Directors recently committed to subsidize expanded fixed route nighttime service, that's about a $1.4 million annual contribution to facilitate both microtransit and fixed route funding. Also wanted to update you on the TRPA monitoring requirements for the event center permit. There are 9 annual reports. It's fun reading that investigates everything from vehicle counts, neighborhood impacts, parking impacts, level of service, and no adverse impacts were observed for the second year in a row. It's also noteworthy that the paid parking mitigation that was part of the estimate of the traffic engineer more than offsets the trips generated by the event center, but nonetheless, TDVA has, in addition to the transit funding that I've already described, sponsored a van pool program, which is now in its second year. The van pool program transports or enables employees from the valley, both in the Carson Valley and as far away from Reno, to basically carpool. That program is now up to 19 van pools and is continuing to grow. And in the last year, reduced over 340,000 vehicle miles traveled, which is, spectacular. TDVA is grateful for the legal committee's continued interest and oversight and staff's collaboration, and looks forward to continuing to advance mobility options, as well as implementation of course, the sidewalk project. That concludes my presentation, and welcome any questions you may have.
Thanks, Lou. Just a reminder to our committee, this is an information only item. We're taking no action, but any questions or comments from the board? Shelley?
Just a question.
The committee, excuse me.
So Lou, the $7 million price tag, is that in part due to acquisition of easements along Highway 50, or is all of the property that will be used for this project in the right of way?
That's as usual, an insightful question, and it does anticipate that there will be some right-of-way acquisition in connection with the project.
Fee title or just easements?
Probably just easements, and as, at least with respect to the sidewalk component, you know, the land that we're talking about is owned by the Edgewood companies. The Edgewood companies, as you may recall, donated the land for the event center and is an active stakeholder in trying to advance all things event center and has been a great community partner. So I would expect that to be a pretty pleasant discussion.
Okay, so we have, the planning will be concluded by the end of 2026, construction by the end of 2027, in a perfect world.
In a perfect world.
And we have a end date of 2028, so hopefully it'll be done well in advance of that date.
That's our optimistic view.
Okay, it's good to be optimistic.
Lou, between the event center on Lakeview Parkway going up and then the snow park over here that people like tube and ski ski at or do the circles at, right, where they blow the snow. Are we thinking about a crosswalk there? Because I always see people randomly running across that road.
We're thinking about a crosswalk as well as extending, even though it's beyond the scope of this project's commitment, the sidewalk from Highway 50 up to the snow park on
Okay.
Lake Parkway.
Great.
So those improvements are also in the hopper, those discussions are in the hopper as to how we can implement those improvements.
I'm really happy to hear that because I always see families kind of playing chicken there and it's terrifying.
It
So,
is terrifying.
okay, thank you for that. Anyone else, questions or comments? Belinda, Ben, I can't. Nope, good deal. Okay. All right. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate the
very
info.
much. Happy holidays,
Thank you.
everybody.
You as well. All right, let's move on then to agenda item 5, which is discussion and possible recommendation for approval of the general counsel fiscal year 2024 to 25 performance review and 2025 to 2026 proposed compensation increase. Information on this item can be found on page 333, and I'd like to turn it over to Angela, please.
Great, thank you. For the record, Angela Ashley, Human Resources and Organizational Development Director. So this is Graham's first performance review as the general counsel. And the process consisted of a self-assessment that Graham put together along with some agency accomplishments. A survey link was sent to governing board members and staff, which consisted of a question on overall goal attainment, 6 questions based on the core competencies for the position that they could rank anywhere from strongly agree to strongly disagree. And then there were 3 open-ended questions. All respondents and participants received a copy of Graham's self-assessment as well. There were a total of 33 respondents. 5 of them were governing board members and there were 28 staff. And Graham received above average scores in all areas. And the respondents also noted several highlights, which were included in the staff report and are included in the summary of the performance review results. So based on his overall performance, we feel that we want to recommend a 4% pay increase for Graham.
Awesome. Thank you, Angela. Any questions or comments from the committee?
Well, I think it's well deserved.
Totally agree, Shelley.
Is there a standard increase for like cost of living?
No, we don't have a cost of living increase.
Oh, okay.
And that is standard with what we gave staff across the board this year as well.
4% is
4% was the average.
Awesome. Just want to say thanks, Graham, for all the hard work. It's been an
Thanks.
awesome year.
Yeah.
Really impressed with all the work you do. Well deserved. I think that was well said.
And there was a big sacrifice, you allowing, and Catherine to wear John. I'm happy to sacrifice.
And actually, I'm glad, Catherine, we couldn't do what we do without you.
No,
Graham couldn't do what he does without you. So this is you too. Thank you for all your hard work.
We suggesting they split it.
What's that? Yeah. Maybe like a road race. Everybody's on Catherine there, but thank you guys. You guys are incredible and it's really appreciated.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we have a great staff and I've been just really pleased to work with everybody here and for giving me the opportunity and to get my, my first year behind me, and I've really enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna just say in my general counsel report, just thank the board. So I'll do that again.
You look somber and serious this morning.
Really?
No, okay, right. That's just my face.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to recommend the governing board increase Graham's base pay from 180 to 187,200 per year effective December 8, 2025. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Any discussion? I think we need a roll call, please. Catherine. Ms. Loomer,
Yes.
Ms. Aldine.
Yes.
Mr. Keycapper,
Yes.
Ms. Faustinos,
Yes.
Ms. Williamson. Yes. Madam Chair, the motion passes. Thank you. All right, committee member comments. Any comments from the committee?
You know, every year I'm surprised by the number of board members who don't participate in these evaluations. I know it's easier for us to evaluate the chief counsel because we work with him as members of the legal committee, but even with Julie's assessment, I mean, I don't know how to encourage people to be more participatory because this is.
They don't get lunch.
You don't get. Lunch. You have to wait outside while we.
End of the window. To me.
Yeah, I don't know either, because I think there's anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks
Mhm.
where it's open for people to kind of.
Yeah, no.
So if I could jump in with a suggestion, guilt always
Go
works
ahead.
really well. Yeah, if I could jump in with a suggestion, guilt works really well in a call from actually, someone on staff to remind us to do this, that would come from a fellow board member, I think might be really effective. So asking, we don't put more on Haley's plate, but whoever is chair and vice chair, maybe you could split the duty in reminding us to fill out
With
these
the votes a little
evaluations.
bit.
Sure.
Thanks, Belinda. Thanks for that. Alex said start a phone tree. I like that too. Awesome. Any other committee member comments? Okay. Our final matter of business this morning for the legal committee is general public comment interest period. Anyone who wishes to address the legal committee on any item may do so at this time. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. I don't see anyone in the room. Do we have any commenters online wishing to make public comment? Yes, Madam Chair, Ellie Waller, go ahead.
Thank you again for the opportunity. Ellie Waller, Douglas County resident. I just want to say, I think my point was proven. The mitigation for the event center was not the broader state line to state line. I'm glad that the $1 million is going to be looked at. Again, I would just like to say that would have been something that could have been explored by the public for further public comment. Thank you.
And Madam Chair, there are no other hands raised to comment. All right, thank you all. With that, we're adjourned. Board starts at 9:30.